Good morning. How are y'all doing this morning? Good morning. How are y'all doing this morning? Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask that question one more time, and I want your response to be a little bit different because I believe that the way that we respond, I believe that our words have so much power. So when we respond and when we say, I'm good, I'm fine, then we are just good and we are just fine, but you can be better than good. And you can be better than fine. So I'm going to ask this question for you, and I want you to respond from out of your gut, from a place of where you want to, how you want to feel, instead of how you are feeling right now. So when I say, good morning, how are you doing this morning? I want you to say, I'm better than good. Can y'all do that for me? Okay, so good morning, how are you doing this morning? One more time. One last time. All right, because, I don't want to fall down. Because the words that we speak have so much power, and it can truly affect the way that we feel, and it can truly affect the way that our day goes. So it is important that we speak words of kindness and words of strength to ourselves, and that we speak the way that we see ourselves being, not the way that we feel at the present moment. So, good morning to you. My name is Shauna Dorian. Welcome to the IHM Career Connections. Before we get started, I would like to take this opportunity to invite our Father, Father Oli, to lead us off with an opening prayer. Thank you.
Please stand. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, creator of all things, in the fullness of time you sent your eternal word, your Son, to live among us, to save us from sin and death, and guide us with the Holy Spirit throughout our life. Lord, as we are gathered this morning, we thank you for this day, your blessing, and the young people who are gathered here for this Immaculate Heart of Mary Career Connections. We also thank you, Lord, for our guest speakers who accepted our invitations and willing to share the words of wisdom with our young people this morning. We seek your blessing upon them, that they will be your true instrument to speak to us throughout this event. Bless all the parents, those who are here, and bless our young people, all those who are excited to participate in this Career Connections. May this event give us strong faith, self-motivation, confidence, and character building, and be a career guide in this new year 2019. As it is written in Psalm 25, show me your ways, Lord, teach me your paths, guide me in your truth, and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all the day long. Heavenly Father, you know every decision we need to make and every challenge we face. We ask your help and your Holy Spirit to give us strength, wisdom, and direction, and teach us in the way we should grow and guide us throughout our journey. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Good morning. Are you happy this morning? Are you really happy this morning? Welcome you all for this event, and God bless you and have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Oli. I love excited people. My name is Shauna Dorian. I am your mistress of ceremonies, and I'm also the excited founder of a company called Biz Knocks. Because when business knocks, guess what? We have to be ready. So I help people step up to the occasion whenever opportunity does knock, with power and with confidence, so that they can get the respect that they desire to have, so that they can attract the opportunities that they desire to attract, and guess what else? So that they can get the raises and the recognition that they desire to have. So it is an honor and it is a privilege to be here with you this morning. Again, welcome to the IHM Career Connections. We are honored to have you all, both parents and students, come together to support and engage learning and development in the community and make connections that have a positive impact. Make connections that have a positive impact. Collectively, individually, academically, and personally. Let's begin this program with making some connections amongst ourselves. So I see a lot of new faces here this time. If you're new here, can you raise your hand for me? If you didn't come to the last event, raise your hand high. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so we have about 50% of the people here new. So here is what I'm going to ask you to do. Please don't give me the side eye. Trust this will be fun, so I would like for all of you to stand up. And we're gonna make some positive connections because it's all about the people that you know and the connections that you make, because you need people in your life to support you. So what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to look around right now, see somebody that you do not know, and boldly and confidently and happily walk up to that person and introduce yourself. Tell them your name, tell them where you go to school, and tell them why it is that you are here. And please don't say because my mama made me come. Okay? So look around, find somebody that you don't know. Parents, we're gonna ask that you go and introduce yourselves to one another as well. And just go and make those positive connections because connections are important. And so the whole purpose is to get you moving around. So you have about 1 more minute, and then we're going to ask that you take your seats. Do we need to do some jumping jacks? Are y'all good? Made some positive connections? Remember these people, right? Okay, so today we are delighted to have a distinguished celebrity group of panelists from various backgrounds. They are here to share some insight on what it takes to unite preparation with opportunity. Because when you are presented with opportunities, guess what? You have to be prepared for them. So they're here to unite preparation with opportunity. To tell you a little bit about IHM Career Connections, I invite Ms. Jaylene Joseph, Youth Coordinator, to the stage. Please help me welcome Ms. Jaylene Joseph, IHM Youth Career Congress Coordinator.
Good morning. Thank you, Shauna. I'll be brief. Just to follow up what Shauna mentioned, our IHM Youth Congress developed Career Connections as a way to enrich our youth in the community, not only in the parish, and more opportunities. And that's where the motto, marrying preparation with opportunity, comes from. So we just opened up this Career Connections and other events here at IHM with Youth Congress to bring our youth and bring the opportunities to them. So we want to thank you for coming this morning. We want to thank our panelists for being here as well with us this morning. And as you listen, I just invite you to listen with a purpose. What are you walking away with today? So listen with intent and with purpose, okay? And I hope you enjoy today's event, and I wish you all luck in later in the event, our pitch performances. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Jaylene. So there will be a question and answers session towards the end of the program. So I am also going to encourage you to if you have any questions as our speakers are speaking, to write those questions down, because you'll have an opportunity to ask each one of these panelists whatever question that it is that you would like to ask them. I'm going to encourage you to ask those questions while you have the opportunity to do so, to get some very valuable information that so many people never have the opportunity to do. So take the initiative to write down those questions as you think about it, so that way when the opportunity does present itself, you can take full advantage of it. So here is what I would like to do right now. I want to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Jason Cormier is a native of South Louisiana, where he graduated from St. Thomas More High School in Lafayette. A former LSU basketball player and graduate of LSU in Baton Rouge, he went on to receive his medical degree in Louisiana from Louisiana State University in New Orleans. Dr. Cormier also dedicated his time on a monthly basis to a student-run homeless clinic in New Orleans. He joined Acadiana Neurosurgery after his internship in general surgery and neurosurgery at Duke University Medical Center in Durham, North Carolina. Dr. Cormier maintains his interest in training neurosurgeons of tomorrow, teaching both medical students and residents many innovative neurosurgical techniques, including endoscopic pituitary, image-guided surgery, and minimally invasive complex spinal surgery. Wow. Dr. Cormier was named one of America's top surgeons. Okay, not Lafayette, not Louisiana. Wow. He was named one of America's top surgeons in the field of neurosurgery. I don't even know what that is. It sounds hard. Okay, he published articles in national journals involving several publications in the fields of pediatric, which is infants and children, and adult neurosurgery. Dr. Cormier also developed a partnership with the ARCA Racing Series, wow, to form a motorsports healthcare plan, medical car, a high-profile interactive activation designed to reach millions of race fans through the country, along with NASCAR. NASCAR, who has heard of NASCAR? Okay, so along with NASCAR and the ARCA Racing Series, their mission is to provide a comprehensive grassroots marketing campaign focused on preventative health care and education and wellness training. Wow, sounds like one hard and fun job. Please help me in welcoming the famous, nationally known Dr. Jason Cormier. Oh, excuse me. Let's take a minute. Let's just take a quick minute. Please forgive me. Let's take a quick minute to show a short video.
I'm a neurosurgeon. This morning we're doing a procedure on the spine called a lumbar laminectomy. Welcome to my operating room. Come inside.
Is that it? Wow. Wow. Okay, that's what I mean when I say uniting preparation with opportunity. Please now help me welcome Dr. Jason, our very own Dr. Jason Cormier.
Well, thanks for that great introduction. Been a lot of places for sure. Brandon's one of my most important parts of what I've created in terms of Motorsport Safety Group. But first, let me just say thank you to everyone that organized this. This is a great opportunity for me to share kind of my story. There are a lot of successes that you're going to hear about, and you can Google a lot of successes, but one thing you're not going to hear about or read about are going to be the failures. And that's one thing that you all need to realize, that, you know, there's some things that you need to remember, that you need to keep close, and things you need to prepare for. And one of the biggest things is failure. No one really teaches you how to deal with failure. Success is great, right? It's easy. You can walk on stage, you can interact with the NFL, NASCAR, all these different things, but they don't tell you how to deal with failure. So I'm just going to kind of run through some things that I keep close that's helped me along the way. It's helped me prepare for this journey. Well, I hope will help you prepare and as you go through this journey we call life. So the first thing you want to keep close that I think is the most important is God. And, you know, I noticed a long time ago, even before, well, probably after my mother made me go through being an altar boy at St. Pius. And, you know, I remember during like the Lent season, we went to church almost every single day. And I remember my older brother, John, saying, man, I think it might be just easier to go to hell. I mean, this is every single day. Don't you get credit for going, you know, a couple of times a week? But we had to go every single day. But most importantly, you know, when things fall and things get difficult, you know, God is always there. And even when you think God's not there, even when you're miserable or you're being a little obnoxious, God's always going to be there. So is family, right? From diapers to depression to success to failure again, your family's always going to be there. And they're there to listen to you, to listen to you cry. They can appreciate your successes probably more than anybody else because they've seen you at your lowest, right? And that's going to happen. So I would definitely stress prepare to fail. I don't want you to fail, but I stand before you and tell you very humbly that you know, I've faced failure several times, and that's why I can stand in front of you as a successful person. And it takes those trials and tribulations to bring you to a point. And don't forget where you came from, because you can revisit some of those places if you're not careful. And I think one thing that keeps you grounded, if you will, as you reach for the stars is, again, don't remember where you came from, and also help other people along. Build that sacred circle, and you'll have an allegiance with you that becomes more and more powerful as you go along. Love yourself, right? Loving yourself means more than just, oh, you know, I can look in the mirror and comb my hair. Well, I can't comb my hair anymore, but put some nice clothes on and say, man, I like the way I look. Loving yourself means, hey, if someone comes to you and has a drug they want you to try, you look internally and say, you know what, I love me more than to allow myself to engage in that sort of activity. Because as that door opens, other doors are closing. It might sound a little, you know, well, that may not happen to me, or I'm going to be strong enough. But man, there are a lot of people that are hooked on some really bad stuff because there's something exciting about it, right? There's something there. I don't see anything sexy about a person that's on those type of things that's homeless, right? Their hair is, they're losing their teeth. They're all disheveled. Their hair's everywhere. There's nothing sexy about that. So whatever that is that's exciting, I don't want to be a part of it. I think I want to be a part of something that's going to open the right doors and engage me with the right people. You want to know where you're going to fit in, okay? If there's a situation where you can't find where you fit in, you're probably not in the right place, right? And you're going to have that feeling. And it might be for many different reasons. You might use that as a stepping stone. You know, I am proud to have graduated from St. Thomas More, but it wasn't a very comfortable experience, you know. We were probably 7 or 8 black students around, other white students. And that's not a problem per se for me, but at the same time, it makes you feel a certain way. And when conversations are going, you have to find ways to deal with that, and there are some people here, David's one that walked through that fire at the same time. And those are important challenges. I think it prepared us for the world, but so do things like this. Take advantage of what we're telling you today, and the other panelists are going to speak, but our experiences mean a lot in terms of what we struggle to go through, what our failures are, and that's what made us a success today. Another thing I would say is share. I don't want to talk too long, but share. Share this experience, share conversations that we'll have today with people that couldn't make it today. Hey, yeah, I met this guy who, he's a neurosurgeon. He works at the NFL, works at NASCAR, but guess what? He's a simple guy. He's an ordinary guy. He's born to, a family, a mother, a single mother, right? She wasn't married, on a teacher's salary, that worked extra hours, that sat on her knees or kneeled down every single night praying for me because I went through detention. I had to do some after-school work here and there, and without her and the good Lord, Miss Iantha as well, they helped raise us, and we were stubborn. We were very stubborn. I was not an easy kid to raise, I'll tell you. But through all that, through the things that you experienced from just your religion, your spirituality, your family, and understanding some of the things I spoke about before, when success gets to you, when you attain portions of success, and don't stop there, redefine it. You'll understand truly and remember and cherish and learn from the struggles you went through. Have a plan B. If plan A doesn't work, don't put all your marbles in one basket. If this doesn't work out, have a plan B. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be, an attorney or anything. Those things are great, and there are struggles that they don't tell you about until you get there. But have a plan A and B, and maybe even a plan C. But be focused and understand that failure is actually a jewel that you can take with you and understand why I failed, and learning from that and learning from us. Again, we are simple human beings that were blessed, and we were beat a little bit by our elders to succeed. So going through what I went through, graduating from St. Thomas More, played basketball a little bit for Dale Brown at LSU, and then went to medical school in New Orleans, ultimately matriculated to Duke, and finished out residency at UAB in Alabama. And in Alabama, I was the first black neurosurgeon to graduate from there, and then the first black neurosurgeon in Lafayette. So you carry some of those badges, and you're like, boy, is it difficult, or do you want to be that representative? I feel lucky and confident that I was able to do that, not because of my own reconnaissance, but because of the backbone and the support that I had. And there are a lot of people that look like me that are supporting me. And without that, I realized a long time ago that if I'm going to be busy in this life, it's going to take more than one person to live this life. So my family's very close, my God's very close, my friends are very close, and I don't have many friends. I mean, I don't have 100 friends. I might know 100 people, but I don't have 100 friends. I have a few friends that I can call that will take, if I lose my leg, they're going to be at the hospital waiting on me. Not because of who I am, but because they understand the struggles and the familiarity with me and what I go through daily. So, like I said, you can Google a number of things about people, and I'm not going to tell you about failures. But school wasn't always the easiest thing. I was in your position before. I didn't like it. I didn't like school, but I did listen to my teachers most times, and I was kind of forced in some ways to listen to my teachers because of my mother. We'd come home and I'd have to do a term paper or something. I don't know what they call it today, but it's a long time ago. A term paper, and we had typewriters and all that. My mother would grade that thing. I said, man, y'all have to turn this in. You just read over it. Or let me write it out or something. But those things, you might think your parents are hard on you, but in the end, I'm standing here today because of God and because of her and the struggles that she went through, and I can't say enough, about that. For men, I would like to address the guys and just say that there's difference. It's easy to be male. It's harder to be a man. Okay, two very different concepts. Anybody could be a male, right? But you get to be a man. That means to be accountable. Be accountable for yourself. Be accountable for your responsibilities. Because you're going to have a legacy whether you like it or not. And you'd rather someone pat you on the back than somebody close that jail cell behind you. And there are a lot of people that can't wait to do that. Okay, so I would be aware of that. And I'd just say, you know, with all my successes in closing, I would say that success is a lease, okay? And the rent is due every day, every single day. There's a Naval SEAL that read something, that said something, and I use this when I give talks, and it resonates just deep within me. And it goes along with this challenge of always push yourself, reach for the stars, keep both feet on the ground, and remember family, God, and your close friends. And that is, under pressure, we don't rise to the occasion. We fall to the level of our training. That's why we train hard. So when all the blares, all the stars and all that's going on, don't necessarily expect that you're going to rise to that occasion. But if you train hard, if you study hard, and you have a strong belief system, what you do, you're going to outperform people. It's going to be instinctual. And as they look at you and go, wow, you're going to walk off and go, that really wasn't my best. But it still was better than anything they've ever seen. Be your best. Pray, put God first in family. And again, thanks for allowing me to be here. Grab you here for a couple minutes.
Wow. Wow. Thank you again, Dr. Cormier. So there are several things that stood out to me with what he said. So I'm going to share 4 things that he said with you all that I really want you all to take some time when you leave from here to think about what he said and to decide on who these people are and what these things are in your life. Number 1, he said, was failure. Failure is a part of the process. Now, it's an unwanted part of the process because really nobody wants to fail. But if you think about it, who has seen a Ford vehicle before? Tell the truth, raise your hands. Who's seen a Ford vehicle before? Okay, put your hands down. Who rode in a Ford before? Guess what? The owner of Ford Company, Henry Ford, failed so many times before he was able to create a vehicle to do what he wanted that vehicle wanted to do. Oprah Winfrey failed. Look who Oprah Winfrey is now. Albert Einstein failed. Look at the invention of Albert Einstein. All of the greats, guess what? Have failed. So I want you to get out of your mind the concept that in order to be successful, you can't fail. Embrace it. It's a part of the process and move forward, knowing that it is okay, guess what, to fail. Another thing he said was family and friends. Your support system is very important. You can't go it alone. Who are your top friends? Are you listening to your parents? Because they're going to tell you the truth, okay? And love yourself enough to say no to things that put you off track from meeting your goals, all right? So I'm going to move on. Thanks again, Dr. Cormier. So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Jamie Jordan. Jamie is a personal trainer, full-time student, and mother of 2, and she looks amazing. She is a writer and motivational speaker embarking on her own personal fitness journey in 2017. She has witnessed the power of exercise, and you can tell, and self-care as it relates to a healthy mind, body, and spirit. She is on a mission to encourage and support others as they make positive behavioral changes that lead to healthier lifestyles. Healthier lifestyles, so important, and ultimately better lives. She is an advocate of self-love. That's a common theme, and is adamant about helping others to realize their full potential. Jamie is currently pursuing a degree in exercise science while fulfilling roles as a personal trainer and coach at both the University of Louisiana at Lafayette and Orange Theory, which is the coolest name, fitness. Having recently teamed up with cryotherapeutics. And all I can say is, oh my God, wait till you find out what cryotherapeutics is. So she's teamed up with Cryotherapeutics of Lafayette. She began incorporating cryotherapy into her wellness routine and hopes to introduce the experience to more people in the Lafayette area. I had never heard of that before. Welcome the lovely, talented, full of fitness and life and love, Ms. Jamie Jordan.
Good morning. I have so much to say, so much to share, that I took some notes in order to keep it concise and keep it within the time frame. So I'm gonna start off by saying it's very, very much an honor. I'm very humbled and grateful to be here with you guys. Just the fact that this was put together and carried out, and that you're here, it says a lot. And I appreciate being able to be a part of this. And just having your ear for a few minutes, I just have to say that, because this is not ordinary. I don't take this lightly. This is not like whatever to me. This is very important to me. So thank you. So much to say. I'll start with following up with what Dr. Cormier said, and as well as Ms. Shana. They said a couple of things that really stood out to me. That Plan B, what Dr. Cormier mentioned, I'm currently living, this is my Plan B. Probably Plan D, I might be close to Z. But this is not Plan A, okay? Plan A was, when I was probably your age, you guys' age. It's changed a lot. And the one thing that hasn't changed is my core, who I am on the inside, my characteristics, what I believe in, how I am towards people, how I think, how I feel. That hasn't changed, but when I tell you the story, the walk, it changed a lot. So this isn't Plan A, and this is where I'm finding success. So there are two paths to success that I like to talk about, and that's the linear path, and that's the path. I'm gonna ask for a little bit of participation here. If you can take your hand and in cursive, write your name in the air. Let's do that. This is mine. That's what my path is like. All right, that's what it has looked like, and it's still like that, But I'm kind of on that upward swing right now, and I'm 29 years old. I'm almost 30. All right. Now there's the linear path, which I think Dr. Cormier may have had that experience. That's the one that just goes straight up. You're a child. Middle school, high school, college, first degree, second degree, career, success, So but that's not is it possible? Does it happen? Yes. Is it typical? No. So you don't always see that, and that's not, if your path looks like mine, that's okay. So I wanted to put that out there as well, because when he said Plan B, I was like, poof, this definitely isn't A. I was in nursing school, and I was 2 semesters shy of graduation. I would have been an RN as of May 2018. And some things resonated within me that this is not where I'm supposed to be. And I took that step with confidence out of that path and into my current path. And I have that desire to help people, which is why I thought I would be perfect as a nurse, good career, good job, support my children, take care of people. But I realized at bedside that I'm too emotionally connected. So nursing, I couldn't treat it as a task or a job. I was kind of emotionally just too drawn to to the role. So I found a way to help people at the other end of the spectrum by preventative measures, exercising, helping them to stay healthy and reconnect with their health and things like that. So that's how I ended up here. Just I shared that to say this isn't plan A, and my plan A looked good. I mean, in their RN, I was passing. Had a job, could have had a job and everything. So don't be afraid to change. A change in direction is not failure. Now, at the same time, when you find your purpose, it's important to stay focused and stay on that path so that you can get to where you need to be. But I wanted to share that. The next thing Dr. Carmia said was to keep God first, and that's something that I don't even have enough words or probably the ability to speak, as much as it needs to be spoken on, but that's where it's at. Without God, it's nothing. I don't have the words, I'm just gonna keep it short in that area because that's probably Alex will bring us home with that. But so definitely keep that front and center. And when you use God as your guide, to those of you who are young in here, even when you're younger, sometimes you might think you're making your own decisions and you might think you do what you want to do, but you can't really do much without your parent or without an adult. And they serve to protect us and guide us. And when you recognize and connect, and I call it consulting, when you consult with God on a daily basis, when you refuse to take a step unless it feels right, and unless you talk to God about it, that's when you really get closer to your purpose. You look at the intersection of God and your vision and confidence. I think that's where it's at. So, moving on to what I have to say, it's so much. I'm going to keep it short though. I'm going to start with one of the things that I was asked to talk about was confidence. So, I'll start with asking, what is confidence? We have a general sense of what it is, kind of, you believe in yourself. You can link it to faith, believing in something even when you don't see it, when you don't feel it, when it's not something tangible right in front of you. Faith is just taking that step, even if every step in the journey won't be a checkpoint. You're not going to see success, or you won't see fruits at every step, but you keep going because you believe in it. Faith, right? So confidence is something like that, but what is it in a practical sense? Confidence is it's an attitude that influences the way you think and the way you behave. Now, there are some things that we're confident in and abilities that we're confident in, so we just do it without giving it a second thought. But then there are other things that we're not as confident in, and we kind of tuck those away, kind of keep that here. We don't want to put that front and center because we're not too confident in that ability. So keep that in mind for later, those things that we tuck away. But the beginning of a journey is actually rooted in confidence. There's the cliche is think outside of the box, which is important, but I try to stay away from that term because we hear it so often, it kind of loses its meaning. It's cliche, think outside of the box, okay. It's not causing us to actually really connect with that. So I like to say cross the line. There's a line that has to be crossed. When you decide to do something extraordinary, when you decide to do something that's going to propel you into the future, when you have that spark to do something that's going to separate you from the crowd, something that will bring you from the old self into the new self, you have to cross a line. You know what I mean? There's a threshold. It's here, and this is where you live in your life, all under here. That's where you are. But sometimes you get an idea, you get a spark, and it takes you way, way up here. That's outside of the box. When you get that idea, like, I could do that, I want to do something, that's something I want to do, that's beyond the line. So you have to physically cross the line to get into the new you, to move forward in life. Otherwise, you kind of get stuck living here, all in your comfort zone, and you won't progress. So think of when you get the notification on your phone, it's like, would you like to update to the newest version? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? All right. upgrade to new version. It'll say like update now, later, remind me tomorrow, where you're constantly updating yourself into the new version of yourself. And you should want to, and you should. We're constantly updating, you know? And like I said, there's that threshold. And when you cross that threshold and you cross that line, that's like an update. You know, you grow. And think of a tree. A tree you can't reverse the growth process. It will never be a seed again. So once it grows, you're growing into the new version of yourself. And like I said before, every once in a while, do you ever have, just kind of nod or raise your hand, because I think this is common to all of us. You ever have, it's kind of like a fleeting thought, like, man, I could do that. You see somebody on TV, right? You read about something, you read someone's story. I could do that, right? I'm capable, like, there's nothing wrong with me. I could do that if I wanted to. But you want to do it, but that's not what's missing. It's the confidence sometimes. It's the confidence, and there's other things that are missing as well I'll touch on. Also, you might have a vision, and you might say, like, I want to start my own business. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to be on TV. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a doctor. I want to start a movement. I want to build a foundation. I want to save my people. I want to, rebuild the city. I want to, it's limitless. Every one of us has different goals and dreams, you know? So when you have that vision and you say, I want to do that, that's like up there, past the threshold. That's outside of the box. That's across the line, right? The difference between the old you or the current you and the new you or the future you often is confidence. If you say, I can do this and I will do this, it changes the game, like, completely, you know? I'm a testament of that, and I'll share a little bit of my story as I didn't even look at my time when I started. You're gonna have to keep me on time. It was a small shift. I've been in on 2 minutes? Okay. All right, so once you take that first step, the journey is inevitable. So I crossed that line that I was talking about. I crossed that line in 2017. And now I'm officially a fitness professional. I wasn't that before, you know, and once you cross the line, people will know you for that, and then it's time to really, it's no turning back, because at that point when you cross the line, it boils down to how bad do you want this, how serious are you, and people are gonna be holding you accountable, but people will also be supporting you. Once you cross that line and you become who it is that you wanna be, you're gonna get more support. So when you get that notification to update to your new version, don't hit remind me later, don't hit snooze, don't ignore it, you know what I mean? Just take it to the next level. Which brings me to another point, is that sometimes we think as humans, we think that we have to be perfect to just show up. We think we have to already have it together to get it together, to walk up to the line, but that's not true. That's the point of growth. You have to grow from where you are. I probably have 1 more minute. I'm gonna get to this last point. Vision, the importance of writing down your vision. When you write it down, you make it real, and that's like you saying, I can do this and I will do this. So in February 2018, and I brought it with me, I wrote on a paper, and Dr. Cormier doesn't even know this. I found out who he was. I said, Dr. Cormier, who is that? I wrote his name down. That's the first name on this paper, first word on this paper, Dr. Cormier. I looked him up, I researched him, I read about him, I read about his initiative, what he does, found out that I know his family. I got inspired. I said I would like to meet him and work with him in some capacity. I want to get to know this man. He's in my city, why not? The next thing I wrote on this paper was Orange Theory. At that point, I wasn't even confident. I just knew I would like to work with Orange Theory. I want to be a part of that. I'm currently a coach there as of August last year. The next thing on my list was make a decision about school. I was in nursing school before. I dropped out. And I needed to make a decision because I needed to go back to school. Currently, I just finished my first semester in the exercise science department at UL with a 3.5. I'm graduating next year. The next thing was become published, find a way to work with Active Acadiana magazine. And this year, I was in this magazine 3 times. I didn't know how it was gonna happen. I didn't believe it was gonna happen. But I saw it, I wanted it, and I went get it, and it happened. And the only thing that changed from the old me to the new me, last thing I'm gonna say, it was the night before my 28th birthday, and I said, I wanna be a fitness model. It started very shallow. I wanna be, not shallow, but surface level. I wanna be a fitness model. Then I dug deeper. Why do you wanna be a fitness model? Because I wanna look good. I wanna look better, I wanna feel better. I wanna be healthier, I wanna be stronger. Got up, walked into my mirror, into my bathroom mirror, and I said it to myself, I wanna be involved in fitness. And I laughed at myself, and I said, nope, you're gonna do this, and you can do this. And that was the night when I literally just crossed the line. I said, I'm gonna do it. And the next morning, I got a membership at the gym, called my friend, said, I need you to, take some pictures of me before and after. Long story short, everything in my life has completely changed because I just realized that I could do it, and I did it. And I'm gonna leave you with that, a quick quote. Fear and doubt can appear to be a powerful, unstoppable force. The truth, however, is that they are powerless until you embody them and give them a voice. We can't replace our lives. We don't respawn. When you're gone, it's a wrap. So don't play around with your life. If doubt and fear is stopping you, the good news is there's a 100% chance of success when you let it go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Miss Jamie. Wow, there were so many nuggets that I picked up from that. She talked about your comfort zone. I love that because when we're in our comfort zone, guess what? We don't move forward. And so here is what I've learned, that your comfort zone is always going to be your failure zone. So you've got to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. And she talked about cross the line. Here is what stood out to me about that. I thought about the Wright brothers. So if y'all don't know the Wright brothers, they're the gentlemen they're two brothers who invented the aeroplane. These brothers, guys, were criticized, but they were willing to cross the line. They were willing to be criticized in order to see the vision that they had come to pass. So sometimes you've got to be willing to cross the line, regardless of what people might think, the criticism that they might have, the scare, the fear that you might feel. That will keep you in your comfort zone. But when you cross the line, you can be as great as the Wright brothers. You can create something that will take you from one place to another, and that will take your peers and your elders and the people in back of you from one place to another as well. Thank you for that powerful message. Awesome, awesome message. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. Right? Okay, so moving along, I would like to welcome our next panelist, Mr. Alex. Actually, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Yes, okay, so here is the information that I have. Okay, thank you again, Jamie. I'm sorry I lost my spot there for a second. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Alex Lazard. For being here today. In addition to that, now, Alex, thank you so much, because Alex does so much work in our community. He works towards bridging the divide. Now I'm on track. Bridging the divide between the business world and the community. And that comes second nature to him. He is a Lafayette native. Alex currently serves as the lead ministry director at Destiny of Faith Church, a multi-generational congregation focused on spiritual, economic, and social development for people, alongside his father, the great pastor Ken Lazard. Destiny of Faith has taken a significant role in civic empowerment, community investment, and local development. With an Associate of Science in Business Administration and Management from Northwestern State University, Alex possesses over a decade in administration, consulting, and project management. Over a decade. You don't look like it, Alex. Okay, so you age very well. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Alex Lazard.
How y'all doing today? Good. So I'm just curious real quick, what high schools do we have represented in the room? Just start shouting out where you go to high school. Northside? Okay, what else? Lafayette High. Say that again. LCA? ECA, the Early College Academy, got it. Karen Crow, my brother went to Karen Crow, I'm sorry about that. It's all good. So we got Northside, Lafayette, Karen Crow, ECA, Como, LCA, Acadiana. Got a Como. Well, I went to Northside, the great Northside, yeah. Okay, so if you didn't go to Northside, I would love if you could maybe visit with this wonderful lady up here. She'll tell you all the great things about Northside. No, but welcome. So glad you guys made time in your schedule to be here. It is so important that you continue to invest in yourself as you grow and as you become everything that God wants you to be. So I have the wonderful opportunity to talk about life and how you continue to live your life with faith included. And I remember being kind of where a lot of you guys are at right now in high school. Actually, at this time, I don't know, y'all don't do like CDs anymore, right? Okay, cool, got it. So when I was in high school, I had a little side business where I would make mixed CDs, completely illegal, okay? I'm acknowledging that. But I was about my money, you know? I wanted to figure out what's my hustle, how can I make this cash, so whenever it's time to go to the game, I could buy my own concessions. I don't need to ask my mama for money, I can get my own stuff. And so, but I can remember being so focused on getting money. That was my focus. I remember trying out for this very popular club we had on campus and making it. And I realized that their practices were after school, and I'm like, wait, that's when I go to work. And they're like, you're gonna have to choose this or work. You know, you can build yourself up and you can come to this, or you can keep working. I said, Mama, keep working. I need my money. I was so focused on getting money, guys. And long story short, I realized that money, if you continue to let that be the focus of your life, then you're going to miss out on all the good that God has for you. And I know it sounds like random, and it's like, dude, I don't want to be poor. Please don't make me be poor. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that whenever your focus changes, then all those other things will come. And you won't have to chase it down. I have over a decade, so part of the reason why I look younger is because I just recently shaved my head. It looked good. Y'all like that? So, but I have that because I started working for a very, very large corporation right out of high school. It was on a whim. I didn't even know that they would hire me. And at 18 years old, I was making 60 grand a year. And so I moved out of my parents' house at 19. I leased my first house at 19. I bought my first car at 19, cash. Like, I had realized that, man, okay, God, I'm doing it. But then so many things started turning. So many things started going in the wrong direction. I want to give you a scripture. Don't go to sleep on me. It's a good one. It's found in the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 52. And this is one of the only scriptures that talk about what Jesus did when he was your age. If you read throughout the Bible, it's like a gap between 13 and 30. But this is one of the only scriptures that talk about what he did when he was your age. What was Jesus doing? It says like this, that he grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. So when Jesus was your age, he was focused on three things: wisdom, stature, and favor. Wisdom is your education. That's the thing. That's the reason why it's so important for you to keep doing it. If it was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for us, right? Stature is his health, his fitness, his growth, making sure that he was able to maintain his body in a way that could support the call that's on his life. And favor, which is one of the most important things that I want to touch on. Dr. Cormier talked about opening the right doors. He talked about he's where he's at because of his mom, because of wise counsel. Growing in favor is all about honoring those that God sent to your life. There's going to be people that you meet right now. I'll give you a quick comment on that. My wife and I we'll make 5 years married in the month of May. We have a 1-year-old now. We're expecting another child due in the month of March. Yes, it's been a busy year in my household. But I met her in high school. We were friends in high school. We didn't start dating until after we graduated. I'm not trying to like make any parents feel weird right now, But it's possible, y'all, that y'all may be friends with your spouse right now and you don't even know it. Look at her face. She looking like, please, no, he is not what I want. Please. But I'm saying that there are certain people that God has assigned to your life to make sure you get to where you're supposed to go. And when you honor those people, not only the friends around you, the right friends, not the trifling ones, the right ones, and when you honor your parents, when you honor those mentors, you say, Alex, what do you mean a mentor? When I honor my mentor, what do you mean by that? You know how they got that person, that older person that always checks on you? They may never ask you for nothing. How you doing? Keeping your grades up? You listen to your mama? That's a mentor. God has sent people to your life to make sure you get to where you need to be. And it's our responsibility to follow the example of Jesus to grow in favor with them, with God and with man. As you continue to sow into people that God has sent to your life, you'll see doors open that you never could have imagined open. I mean, Jamie talked about how she's just in this place in her life right now where what she pulled out was basically the vision. She got a vision for her life, and God made that come to pass. You know, something that a lot of people think is that our decisions is what makes God want to do things for us. And what I'm about to say may seem weird, but I want you to grab hold to this. There's two words, we like to call them twins in the Bible, grace and mercy. Grace is God's goodness towards you. No matter what you do, he's still going to love you, take care of you. Mercy is whenever you do the wrong thing, and you know how to say, ask God for forgiveness, right? When you turn to God and be like, look, I ain't mean to say that. It just came out my mouth. Please forgive me. That's mercy. You in his mercy at that point. But he loves you so much that he wants to see you win. He wants to see you succeed. And he said, look, I gave y'all Jesus to follow as an example. We honor him whenever we follow Jesus Christ as the example. We honor him when we know, like, okay, there's a calling on my life. There's something special I'm supposed to be doing. I'm a creative. I'm an athlete. I have a voice. I like to encourage people. When you start figuring out that thing that just comes natural to you and you invest in it, then you can start growing this potential inside of you. And like Jamie talked about, crossing the line. One last thing I want to mention to you is about getting outside of your comfort zone. I can recall being in high school and I was so worried about the opinions of others. I was so wrapped in what they gonna say, what they gonna say, what they gonna say. Are they gonna still like me if I make this decision? That crew gonna still talk to me if I make this decision? Can I go eat lunch at that table if I talk to this dude today? Like, I was so concerned about everyone's decisions. Can I share something with you? That whenever you hit these moments in your life, those people that you're so concerned with right now, they won't be there. Like whenever it's time for you to make the big decisions in your life, the person that you're letting control your decisions right now will not be there. It's going to be you, God, and your mind. That's it. So it's important to listen from within more than what's going on outside of you. Honor those that God has sent to your life. Make sure you plug into the right circles. Keep yourself around the right people. Please don't let trifling ways get in your nature. And when you find areas that's trifling, get it out. Y'all know what's trifling. Y'all know what's going on. You know when to be like, man, I shouldn't have did that. I could have did better. You know this. Your parents sow into your life daily. They tell you, I'm sure, daily. You know this. Listen to that voice. Do what you got to do. If your thing is education, stay on your path. If it's not education, lean into a mentor. Say, look, I feel like I don't know if I'm meant for a four-year university, but I don't know what to do. Get yourself around wise counsel and let them help you figure that out. And I promise you that as you continue sowing into yourself, growing in wisdom, growing in stature and favor with God and man, God's going to show up in your life like never before. And he's going to change some things in your life. Y'all receive that on this morning? Awesome. That's all I got. I'm good.
Wow, that was some amazing takeaways. I don't even have anything, Alex, to add to that. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for reminding us that we too are favored, that we too give grace, that we receive grace and mercy from God. So thank you for that. So really great takeaways. Now to round out our panel, I want to introduce our very own Immaculate Heart of Mary's own Elico LeBlanc. Elico LeBlanc is a first-year college student from Cecilia, the big city of Cecilia, Louisiana. She enjoys cooking Creole food with her grandmother, dressing up for no reason, and she is a sucker for jigsaw puzzles. She currently attends Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. She is a member of Shades of Brown, a multicultural, multi-ethnic a cappella group. Aliko is also a Bonner, am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay, a Bonner Community Fellow, where she serves as a youth administrator and DIY STEM project leader for the Boys and Girls Club of Providence, working with 5 through 12-year-olds. She is responsible for the implementation of new workshops and programs available for students. With 13 and 18-year-olds, she leads science experiments, wow, with the students and also conducts Power Hour, which is a tutoring session offered to the Boys and the Girls Club. She is the proud member of Brown's University Black Student Union and is actively involved in their community efforts. She recently won the title of Brown's University Miss Black Student Union. Wow. Continuing her faith, Aliko is a member of Condom Street Baptist Church and is a member of the Black Christian Ministries, where Bible texts are examined and discussed in hopes of life application. So how to apply that to life, right? That's wonderful. Aliko is currently interested in neuroscience, and she's sitting next to the best person, and on a pre-med track with the hopes of becoming a physician and working for the Doctors Without Borders, an organization dedicated to helping disaster-stricken areas of the world by providing free health services. Wow, wow, wow. Please help me welcome our very own Miss Aliko LeBlanc.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. Like she said, I'm Aliko LeBlanc. So first, I'll start off with a little bit about myself. I'm from Cecilia, Louisiana. Like she said, very big town. I attended Immaculate Heart of Mary School for 8 years. I attended TM Landry for 3 years, where I graduated a year early, and now I'm a freshman at Brown University. Right now, I am pursuing a neuroscience concentration on a pre-med track, but also I'm taking up biomedical engineering. So first, what I can start talking about is some challenges that I had when I first started Brown. So the first thing that I really found that I had a problem with was my time management. I started school at Brown in the summer of 2018 in June, and even though I did really well that semester, I found that my time wasn't used effectively, and I needed to find out a better way how to do things, because I was always running around campus and I never knew what I needed to do next. So when the school year actually started, my freshman year, I went to see some advisors, and what they helped me do is set up a whole Google Calendar. So I have everything coded out what I need to do for the day. So from 8 o'clock in the morning, I wake up every morning, I go get breakfast. That was something I never did in high school. I was always late because I took a long time to get dressed and I never ate breakfast. So I said in college, I'm gonna start eating breakfast. So I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and my day doesn't end till 11:30 at night. So whatever's not in my Google Calendar, I don't do it. So if someone says, hey, can we grab lunch at that hour? I'm like, okay, we can do that next week, because I have my week planned out already. So I have everything color-coded. I get a notification 10 minutes before, okay, hey, you need to be at this location by doing this, because you don't want to be stuck in a predicament where you're doing chemistry P-sets and it's 20 minutes before 12 a.m. and you open up your P-set and you're like, wow, I understood it in class, but then when you get to your homework, it's like, oh, I don't understand this, I don't get this. Another challenge I faced when I went to Brown is diversity. So if you guys don't know, Brown is a predominantly white institution, and I suffered, well, I'm not gonna say I suffered, but I went from going in an all African-American community to where sometimes now I'm the only person of color in a 100-person class. So I really struggled with that, but then also I guess I opened up my arms to diversity but also trying to maintain and retain my own cultural identity. Because you meet people from all over the world when you go to an institution like Brown. Like some of my closest friends, she's from Sudan, another friend from Zimbabwe, another friend from Singapore, another friend from India. So you really get to know a lot of people, and like it's a lot of different cultures and a lot of things you want to learn and you want to take up, but you don't want to get lost into it where you lose yourself. So I really had to struggle with that. And one thing that stemmed off of my diversity, I guess, complex was imposter syndrome. I suffered with this so much. There were times when, okay, I was a top student, I guess, in high school, and whenever I went to school, I felt smart, and people made me feel smart. And when I went to college, I was like, okay, everyone's smart. Everyone was valedictorian. Everyone had the best grades. Everyone had the best test scores. So I went from being a big fish in a little pond to a little fish in a big pond. And it was really hard. And what I had to do is even go talk to one of my closest deans. Dean Bhattacharya, she's in charge of my scholarship program on campus. And I talked to her about this, and I was like, hey, I'm the only person who looks like me in a class. Why am I here? Was I just chosen because of some quota that Brown needs to fit? But then she looked at me and she told me, Aliko, you belong because you were chosen, not because you were a token. Let's get that straight. She said, you have a story to tell, and Brown wants to be a part of that story. They have thousands of other people who come from the same background as you, had the same qualifications as you, same credentials, yet we chose you because you were special and we wanted you. And at that point, I realized I'm here on a mission. My mom sent me here on a mission. I'm here to accomplish a goal that I need to do for my own Immaculate Heart of Mary community, for my neighborhood, everyone around me. So that's my mission in college, and those are three challenges I had: imposter syndrome, diversity, and time management. My faith has been an integral part of my experience at Brown. I'm a member of Cogden Baptist Church, which I was raised Catholic here at Immaculate Heart. But when I went to college, I was looking for a purpose-filled message. So I went to a lot of Catholic churches, and they weren't like Immaculate Heart. So when I went to a Baptist church that one person in the Black Student Union told me about, I fell in love with it. And now I practice Baptist when I'm in college and Catholic when I'm home. I'm a part of Black Christian Ministries, which yeah. So I'm a part of Black Christian Ministries, which I enjoy very much. Every Monday, a whole bunch of college students and the pastor at Cogden, he comes over to Brown University, and we just talk a lot about Bible texts, and it's really interesting. And I don't know, I guess at first when I started college, my group of friends were very faith-filled, even though we come from different religions. So one of my closest friends, she's from Sudan. She's Sunni Muslim. And my other friend, she's Baptist. So, I started going to the Baptist church because that was something that I guess I closely related to. But just, we all know that God was a part of our life early on, and that this is what we need in order to succeed. So, we all go to our own churches and stuff like that. So just being around people like that. But when it was time for me to go to church on my own, not having your mom wake you up in the morning for church, it's just, I remember going out one Saturday night, and I only had like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And I usually wake up an hour and a half before church. And I remember staring at the ceiling for like an hour, like, dang, do I really need to get up right now? So 30 minutes before church, I was like, yeah, let me get up. So I got up, I ran out, my toenail half polished, I don't have my jacket's half off, and I'm just like, oh, I made it to church though, and I felt so great afterwards. And afterwards, after church, I went to go get breakfast with some friends, and I just felt really good that day that I actually got up out of church, and no one had to tell me, hey, go do this. So sometimes you gotta take, I guess, initiative when it's time for your own faith. Some student groups I'm involved in, Bonner Community Fellows, like Ms. Shauna mentioned, or I work as Bonner Community Fellows is a community service organization on campus where you're chosen before you get to school, and you're part of this cohort for all 4 years. You're at your site all 4 years, which my site is the Boys and Girls Club. I work as a youth administrator, and I love my job. This morning when I opened up my planner sitting on the table, I saw some drawings from my students, my 5 to 12-year-olds, and I saw one. I think this was a student that's in first grade, and he said, please don't be mad at me. I want to play with my toys in crayon. So I was just like, wow, I really miss Brown, and I really miss my job. So I've been home for a really long while, but I'm ready to go back and see my kids. I'm very involved in my Black Student Union. I feel like they've been an integral part of my experience at Brown as well, because I don't know, I love going to the Harambe House on campus, which is a space designated for people who come from Black backgrounds. And it just feels comfortable when you're around people who look like you and determined like you and want to do great like you. So, I mean, also in Black Pre-Med Society, they're really helpful. Shades of Brown, my a cappella group on campus, it wasn't something that I thought I was going to join. I thought I was going to give up singing when I went to college, but then I guess it just pulled me back in. And I'm also a part of Bruin Club, where I work with admissions to recruit students and also help with like informational sessions. So this semester, I'll be hosting students in my room. Whenever they want to come visit Brown, it's a certain program. If anyone else would like to learn about that, I'll be happy to tell you some details. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. And if I had to give any advice to students now, I would have to say, set goals for yourself. Know that I need to accomplish this in this amount of time. Because the longer you wait, that's the longer you're gonna reach your goal. So that's something that I really had to start for myself. Also, ACT and applying for college. ACT is a very crucial part in determining where you're gonna go to college. And when you take the ACT, I guess I would have to say I took the ACT 8 times before I got the score that I wanted, because I had this certain university that I had in mind, and this is what I need to get in order to go to this university. So whenever you're looking for colleges, start that early on. Look what credentials you need to have. Because when you get to college, well, you might want to go a freshman year. When you turn a senior in 12th grade, you're like, dang, this is not where I want to go. But you want to have options for when you get there. Because life is all about options. What might be my passion today might not be my passion tomorrow. So that's why I want to make sure that I have options to where I'm not stuck in a predicament where I really don't enjoy what I do. So that's one thing I'd have to say. And just not being afraid to ask for help. In school, I think I did pretty well, but it was from a lot of times me going to office hours and tutoring sessions, and even though I understood a topic, I still went to the tutoring sessions because something you might learn in class might not be on the test, or might be on the test and you miss something. So it's just always great to refresh your mind. And just looking for others, older people who can help you, because people are always willing to help once they see that you're determined and they're interested in the same thing as you. I have an older sister and also Kendall Pierre. They attend St. John's University in Queens, New York. And I feel like that's an inspiration, because people who came from a similar background as me, came to the same church as me, and just doing so great at colleges that they're at. So I really look at them as motivation, like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. So thank you so much for having me. If you would like my email, I can give that out afterwards, and thanks. So.
Wow, Aliko, thank you so much for sharing that information. So what stood out to me is Aliko said she took the ACT 8 times. And what that spoke to me, Aliko, is that you were so determined in what you wanted. You believed in yourself so much that you were unwilling to give up until you got the desired result that you wanted to get. That says a lot about your faith. That says a lot about how determined you are, how ambitious you are, how confident you are. That says a lot about your mom and the people that you keep in your corner as well. Thank you for sharing that story. One more thing she said is ask for help. Sometimes our ego will stop us from asking for help. Sometimes the relationships that we need in our lives, we have to be bold enough to seek those relationships out. I'm going to encourage you to ask for help when you need it. People want to help. People want to help. Thank you so much. You are the picture of stepping outside of your comfort zone. Please know that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing things scared. Even though you have fear, it's do it anyway. You're scared? Do it anyway. Ooh, I got the goosebumps, girl. Thank you for that. Okay, so now let's give another round of applause to our awesome panelists this morning. You guys were fantastic. Yeah, let's stand up. Let's give them a standing ovation. I think they deserve that. Thank you. Thank you. So they took time out of their busy schedules to come and share their powerful messages, their amazing stories with us. So what I would like to do at this moment is invite, this is the time for question and answers, right? Okay, so I would like to take this opportunity to open the floor to you all, to encourage you to ask questions. If there's anything that stood out to you, if you took any notes, if you wrote down any questions like you were encouraged to do in the beginning, now is your opportunity to ask for questions. So, to ask your questions, I should say. So who has a question to ask any one of the members on our panel? So if the first person who asks a question, I have a little gift for them. Anybody want to ask a question? So now let me remind you that you have a panel of celebrities. You have a panel of successful people who can help you get to where it is that you need to go. This is your opportunity to ask them questions that can help you be the best version of yourself and who can help you get to where you want to go. So I am going to ask the question again. Hallelujah. We're going to let the young lady go first. Thank you so much.
My question is for Aliko. What ACT score did you have to get into Brown, and what did you do to prepare yourself?
Community service and like other groups that I needed to be in, but I did finish with a 30. But most people who go to Brown have like 31s and 32s.
So how much study time and preparation do you think that it took, Aliko, for you to get that score that you wanted to get?
Well, my high school that I went to was really ACT, I guess, training based. So when I first took the test, I was a freshman. I had a 23, and after that, I moved up to a 26. I stayed stagnant on a 26 for like 3 tests on, and then the next time I took the test, I moved up to a 28. I made a 28 about 3 more times, and I don't know what was stopping me from getting my 30. It's like I couldn't jump over that hump. So like I started doing things a little different when I started looking over tests. I look over previous tests. I'd ask teachers to go over it with me, and just like I said earlier, it's all about asking for help and reaching out for the resources that are there already for you. Because if they're there for you, then why not take advantage of them? So yeah, I ended up finishing with a 30, from a 23 to a 30.
That's initiative and drive right there. Thank you so much for that amazing question. Who had a question right here? Okay.
It's for Dr. Cormier. I wanted to ask, how long was med school, and what was the challenges you had going through it?
Thank you. So med school is 4 years, and that's kind of wherever you go. After med school, you go through this process, actually in your 4th year, called the match process, and that's basically you go out to these universities and residency programs, and you try to put on your best face and you interview, and you rank them, and then they rank you. And so the scary thing about match day is that somewhere along the line those numbers match up, and you don't know where you're going to end up. So you rank, Michigan, Duke, whatever. And if they chose you first and those numbers in Michigan didn't take you before, so it's like if you don't want to go to Michigan in -3 degrees, don't rank Michigan, right? So residency programs are about 7 to 8 years, 1 year of research. And, but, when you think about college, and then med school, and then whichever residency program you decide. Not all of them are 7 or 8 years. You know, it's if you look at that number, you're gonna. I'd go work at an ice cream shop, to be honest with you, right? So the way I did it was I looked at myself 10 years down the road, right? Where do I want to be in 10 years? Because that was just a nice number, you know, I'd like to just hang on to. And okay, it made that next year a little bit easier, right? And again, something that all of us has kind of said today, you know, we're not superheroes, we're ordinary people. And when they mentioned about, you know, Einstein, you know, Einstein was actually removed from his middle school. He had a learning disability. And you know, the story goes that his mother read this paper that he took home. He couldn't really read all that well. And she said, she's crying, right? And she says, son, you know, you're too smart for this school. So we have to put you in a different school. This letter says that you're just too smart, so you can't go back. So he invented all these things, became one of the greatest creators of his time, and later on in life, after she passed away, he came across that letter. And in that letter it said, your son has a learning disability. He cannot return to this school. So through those words, his mother turned him into one of the greatest creators of all time. So what I would do is focus on where you want to be down the road, and don't focus on that number. Because you can do a lot in that number of years, get yourself in a whole lot of trouble, and see where people end up. Just set your goal, know where you want to end up, and it makes that next year a little bit easier. Okay.
Thank you. So that's kind of one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. That reminded me of you go in with the end in mind. So let me just give y'all an example of that. There are many times when I don't want to work out. But so I might wake up in the morning and might think, Lord Jesus, today is just not the day. But then I start reminding myself of how I'm going to feel after I'm done. So I go to work out not because of how I feel before, because I don't want to go. I go because of how I know I'm going to feel when I'm done. That's kind of like going in with the end in mind. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, who has you have a question. Can you come and meet me a little bit, please?
My question's for Aliko. So I'm a freshman, and I wanted to know, where do I go to take my ACT, like as a freshman?
Thank you. I don't have to go on the treadmill when I leave from here today.
As a freshman, I would say check with your school. Usually it depends on like what type of school you go to. I know the school that I went to, I was able to register for the ACT. I had to pay $40 out of my own money each time I took it. But you can apply for a fee waiver as a freshman. I think it's a number of amount of like fee waivers you can apply for, but I would definitely apply for that because $40 each time that's a lot of money. But I would say you could probably take it at the high school that you go to. Definitely. Just sign up online for the ACT, register yourself, but check with your counselor as well.
Other questions?
So this question pertains to each and every one of y'all. If any one of y'all had to do something different in your life from what y'all doing now, what would y'all want to do?
That's spoken with some authority right there. I like that. So we will start with Ms. Jamie.
So it's not so much what I would want to do as if I would pick a different career. It would be about the timing. That's why I'm so excited to talk to y'all, because if I had what I have in me right now when I was 18, it would be a different story. So I would get serious and I would get real about everything that we're talking about like when I was younger. I did some exploring before I landed in this path. I'm a musician. I wanted to be a music producer at one time. I wanted to be that with all my heart. I made beats, I made connections, I know industry connections and all of that. But it just, like I said, there's that path. And it's not so much about where you land, it's just about where your mind is and your focus, and you have to approach it with a certain authority. And like I said, God, is certain things that have to be aligned. So if I could do anything different, I would get myself centered and aligned much younger, like when I was y'all age, because I'm 29, like I said, and I'm starting now. I'm on, what path E, F, or G. So I would get on that earlier. So that's what I would say.
So I'm full-time at church, which is the most fun job in the world. But before this, yeah, praise God. So before that, I worked for, I did some work for the Chamber of Commerce. Before that, I owned a company in the Woodlands. Before that, I worked for a telecommunications company. Before that, I worked for a call center. And before that, I worked for some restaurants. So if I wasn't doing this right now, I'll probably be, honestly, doing the same thing, just maybe on my own. So the biggest thing for me is unlocking the potential we have in each other and making sure that we know that, whatever that goal that you have in mind, you can reach it. You just got to be hungry enough to get it. So I would still be talking to people. I would still be helping people. I'll probably just be doing it on my own.
I would have to say, if there's anything I would change, I wouldn't change anything. I'm only 18, and I feel like I haven't been through too much, but I've been through enough to see that, like, whatever's happened to me, God put it there for a reason, and that was something that I needed to see or something that someone else needed to see. So I don't regret anything that has happened to me in my life. Maybe that might not be my same words by the time I'm 40 or 50 or something, but I don't regret anything as of right now because I feel like God has me going through the things that I'm going through right now for a reason. So
I think Alex said the best. God wants you to succeed. Okay, so as long as you're not, I would say, love don't hate, help don't hurt, and trust and always just try to do right by yourself and other people, and God's going to select what you're going to do. When I interviewed for residency, there was one program director, and it was kind of a trick question. He said, what happens if you don't match in neurosurgery? I said, well, I'd probably apply again. So you're supposed to say that. He goes, what if it's just you apply again and you never get into neurosurgery? And most people would say, well, maybe I'd do general surgery, maybe I'd do orthopedic surgery. He goes, what would you do? I coach basketball. I played my hand. That's one of my passions. So I'm going to do something I love, and I can still help people. Maybe not in the same fashion, but God wants you to succeed. So I have to echo what he said, that he wants you to succeed. So.
Amen. Thank you so much. Wow. So, Aliko, something that you said really stood out to me. And here is what stood out to me. I've heard this before, and I have to share it with you all. If we think about things like, oh, this is what happened to me, then we kind of hold ourselves back. I love what you said. It was to the extent that it's not what happened to me. What happened, it was what happened for me. So it's not like this is what happened to me. It's we got to say this is what happened for me in order to get me to where it is that I need to go. Another thing, when I first started college, my major was in physical therapy. I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist. I chose that career because that's what everybody in my family said was noble, because I thought that that would make me be a better person, that would make me be more loved, more respected perhaps. So I didn't really sit back and think about what it was that I wanted to do. I started a class in exercise science. I went to this class. They showed a video in this class. They showed a young boy who was a burn victim, he was wrapped in a gauze, and they showed themselves unwrapping this little boy to put him in this water to clean his wounds and his burns. And I cried like a baby in this class. I couldn't stomach it. I went home. I couldn't sleep that night. I dreamed about what I saw. I woke up the next morning and said, forget this. This is not for me. This was something that I had done based on what I thought other people wanted me to do and not based on what I wanted to do. So if I could have done anything differently, it would have been focusing on what works, the gifts that God has given me versus what I thought other people wanted me to do. So do we have time for any more questions? Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
For the young lady that's at the sign-in table, UL Lafayette is also a testing center for ACT, not just the high schools.
Anybody else have any questions? The floor is open. I might have another gift, maybe I might. Anybody have any more questions?
What made you successful to become a neurologist?
A neurosurgeon. Mhm.
Yeah, so if everybody didn't hear it, not 'cause I didn't, what made me successful at becoming a neurosurgeon? Right. So, well, I think my journey through life, being able to embrace the difficulties and struggles in life, and I didn't do that alone. You know, as I said, I had God first and family and close friends. And, you know, because it's one of those things where I can call someone, and some people don't know this, my aunt knows this, but her son Troy, if I call Troy or even David, you know, they're gonna call me stuff, hey Bird, what's up, right? Could you imagine my nickname being Bird? But that's people that you can call and lean on, and those are the people that know what you go through. So you'll have different nicknames as you come up, and holding on to those, you know, those bonds that you make now, and you take them with you, and the closer people. Something else Alex and also Jamie touched on, surround yourself around people that are successful, and it's just gonna happen, right? If you surround yourself with people who are just not doing the right thing and they're failing, then you're gonna fail, because that's all you know, right? So the people that were around me were doing positive things that were being successful. So when I got to playing basketball and then going through neurosurgery, honestly, it wasn't all that difficult, you know, and you know, in terms of trying to find my fit, embracing failure and trying to overcome those failures where other people failed. You know, there's a lot out there, because the numbers are scary, right? You look at how many doctors we have in America. There's just over 998,000 physicians practicing. Throughout America, there's about 85,000 surgeons. Now, neurosurgeons, there's only just over 2,400 surgeons in the world. I'm one of 37 black surgeons in the world. So there's a lot in what you embrace, but at the same time, with the circle I have around me and my belief in God, it ain't that hard.
Thank you. Okay, so that's going to conclude our question and answer session. Thank you all so much for being willing to ask those wonderful questions, and thank you to the panelists for responding so eloquently. Wonderful life lessons, wonderful, wonderful lessons. So what I'd like to do now is get to the new and most exciting portion of the program, the pitch competition. So what I'd like to do, though, is to ask, would anyone be willing to participate in our pitch competition? It's gonna be fun. And guess what? One day you're gonna hug your mama for making you come here today, for doing that pitch competition, because it will help you. So are any of you interested in doing the pitch competition? If there's a yes, I'm sorry, cross the line. We talked about that earlier. So I'm gonna read to you all a little bit about what the pitch competition is. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to think about if you wanna participate in it, okay? So, excuse me, these days in preparing for college and joining the workforce, students are often asked on the spot, like you were just now, to provide a short statement on why a company or business should select you for an internship, a job, or etc. Okay? That is why we're going to do this here today. So I want to know, again, is anyone in here willing to just participate in the pitch competition? Is anyone in here willing to how do you say that, Miss Jamie? To cross the line, to step out of the comfort zone, to not be worried about what other people have to say about you, and to try to do it scared. Going once. I might have some gifts for anybody who participates in the pitch competition. So look, You're willing to participate. Okay, good. So even if we have one person, we're going to move forward. So let's continue. So here is how this pitch competition will work. Students will have up to 1 minute to pitch why he or she should be selected for a mentoring relationship or site visit with one of the panelists up here. So each person who participates will have to answer these 3 questions. The 3 questions are also on the television right here, but I'm going to read these 3 questions out to you. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about how you would like to respond, and then we'll move forward. So the 3 questions are, why are you interested in a mentorship relationship or site visit with one of the panelists? So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about, if you could choose to have a site visit and a possible mentoring relationship with one of these panelists, who would that person be? And why would you be interested in building a possible mentorship relationship and having a site visit? That's the first question. The second question is, what makes you a strong candidate for the business or company? So I'm going to ask you to just focus on what the panelists said is important, both personally and professionally, and that's how you can answer that question, which again was, what would make you a strong candidate for that company? What values do you have that is in common with the person that you want to go and visit and build this possible mentorship relationship? And the third question is, how will you help service and or impact your community as a result of participating in a possible mentorship relationship or a site visit? So I'm going to give you all an example of how something like this would work. Let me get back to all 3 questions on one page. Okay, so what I would do is I would say, hi, and before you begin, please say your name and your age, right? Okay, so here is how I would begin. My name is Shauna Dorian. I'm 14. And I am interested in having a possible mentorship relationship and a site visit with Mr. Alex Lazard. I think I would be a strong candidate to go and visit with Mr. Alex Lazard because I absolutely love the Word of God and I want to get closer to Christ as well. As a matter of fact, I make sure to pray every day. Now, how will I help to serve or impact the community as a result of this relationship? Is everything that I learn when I go there, I am going to share with my family, with my friends, and with the people at my church. Point blank. You answer those questions, and then you say thank you and have a seat. Now, here is how this will work. If you decide to do the pitch competition, you have up to 60 seconds to shoot your pitch. You will shoot your pitch, you will have a seat. Once everybody's done with their pitch, the panelists, based on a scorecard, will go and deliberate, and they'll make their decision in the secret place. Okay? And then they will come out and they will announce 3 winners, I believe. I got off of my notes. So they'll take a break for about 5 or so minutes and go make the decision, and then they will come back and we will have 3 minutes. So 3 winners. So here is what I would like for you to do. Take a minute or 2, look at these questions, write down your answers. You can either say it from the top of your head, which is what I just did, or you can write the answers down and stand up and read the answers. We want you to do it even if you feel scared. We want you to speak from your voice, and we want you to share your honest answers as to why it is that you would like to have a mentorship relationship and a site visit with one of these amazing panelists in front of you. So we will now give you a minute or 2 or 3 to write down your answers, and then we'll prepare for the pitch after that. What's your name? Okay, wonderful. Come on up. So for volunteering first, because I love people who take the initiative, I have something for you as well. So what I would like for you to do, again, is to state your name, stand up in the front right here. I want you to face I would like for you to face the panelists, and I want for you to state your name, your age, and then your pitch. Thanks, Kendall.
I'm good to go? All right. Good afternoon. My name is Kendall Pierre. I'm a sophomore going into my second semester at St. John's University in Queens, where I'm studying finance, but I'm not too sure about what I want to do yet, and I'm thinking about switching to marketing. Now, when Mr. Alex came up and talked, why I'm interested is that when I heard you speak, I got the same attitude as you. I just want money, and I feel like, you know, money is gonna get me whatever I want, whenever I need, but I know that that's not my purpose, and that's not all that life has in store for me. I feel like what makes me a strong candidate is that I'm versatile. I feel like when it's time for me to put on that professional mode, I can do that. I can talk to people. I'm also a trumpet player, so I'm in the pep band and in the jazz band at school. I play for the basketball games and little events on campus, and that's just something that nobody will ever be able to take away from me. I mean, unless they chop off my lips, but I'm gonna always have that ability to play the trumpet. And something else that I also took up is photography. I see Mr. Joe, I've grown up with Mr. Joe, seen him take pictures all the time, and I'm like, the attitude that I have for wanting to do new things is why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can tell me I can't take pictures because I know that I can take pictures. And even if they're not the best pictures, I can still take them and then edit them and do what I need to do. And I really connected with you, Mr. Alex, and what you said because, yeah, we all love money, we all want to make money, but that's not what it's about at the end of the day. And I took something from each one of you when you stood up. Dr. Cormier, you said that, we don't rise when we don't rise to the occasion. I'm sorry. Can you say it one more time? Because I loved it when you said it, and I just forgot it when I came up here. Under pressure, we don't rise to the occasion, but we fall to our training. I love that. Aliko said that, you know, one of the things that she pointed out was that you have to keep a good circle. And I know that Aliko and her older sister that goes to school with me, I'm always have their back, and I know that if I ever need something, I'm always have their back. And Mr. Alex, just the attitude, and I connected with your attitude, and it's just like, yeah, I like that. Miss Jordan, Miss Jamie Jordan, I'm sorry. The fitness thing, I'm in college right now, and all I do is eat. I'm sorry. That's all I do, and I just feel myself just getting sloppier and sloppier every, you know, semester. And I wish I had that initiative and that drive to get up and go to the gym, which is like 3 minutes from my dorm, but it's just the walk, and I gotta have the right attitude, the right mind. But I really wanna get on that. I want that. That's my pitch. Oh, wait, my community. I always think about this, and this is a long-term thing. I'm gonna turn to everybody and say this. My dream when I come back, because my idea of always having a lot of money, I wanna come back. I grew up playing baseball at Brown Park, and Brown Park is, you know, might not be the best park in Lafayette. But what I want to do is, whenever I get a bunch of money, come back, me and my friends, the close group of friends that I do have, I have 3 of them that I've always kept in contact with since 5th grade. And one of them is great in soccer, one of them is great at basketball, and the other one I was in band with. I want to get together with them and open up like a rec center. Like, I specialize in baseball, my friends specialize in the soccer, my other friends specialize in basketball. And we can all do that because, you know, I know we all have that love for each other and we can do that kind of stuff. I just want to give that back to my community.
Wow, thank you. All right, so let's remember you come up, you say your name, say your age, and in order to respect everybody's time, we're gonna try to keep it down to 90 seconds max for your responses. So who volunteers to go next? Okay, come on up. Your name, your age, and then answer the question.
So I'm Shamar Allen, I'm 17, and I'm currently a senior at Northside High School. And Mr. Alex and Ms. Jamie both had 2 things that interested me. I want to become a chef. Where did you work at? Doing what? That's good. I want to actually own my own restaurant someday and become a chef. And eating healthy is another thing, so I kind of keep in terms with exercising because I teach my mom different things and always watch my diet. what I say makes me a strong candidate is that, you know, exercise is a good thing in terms of diet. You know, you always gotta exercise and balance your meals. And what I wanna say is that as I grow, I wanna open my own restaurant here in Lafayette, because I feel like the north side of Lafayette didn't really have a lot, but also expand to different cultures and learning like what other foods that there is in the world. Because there's so much food and so much different things that I haven't learned how to make that I would want to learn how to make. How would I impact my community? I say that first, money is a good thing to me, but I want to have a whole chain of restaurants, not just one particular restaurant. Like, there's so much chains of restaurants. If you think of like Chili's, you see Chili's almost everywhere, or you see maybe like McDonald's everywhere. But I want to create a restaurant that hasn't been out, but actually take my restaurant and make it nationwide.
So Shamar and Kendall, I want to encourage both of you. You have both big goals. Write those goals down. Make the vision plain like every one of the panelists said. Okay, wonderful job. Who is the third volunteer? We're excited. Y'all are doing a wonderful job. Third volunteer. Okay, so this young lady said that she would go. I don't want to voluntold. The young lady that was sitting said that she said that she was going to go these people. So I'm about to pick somebody. Okay, I'm going to pick a young lady first. And I'm going to go with this young lady with these beautiful braids. Say it from your heart. Your name, your age, and then answer the question.
Hello. My name is Caitlin Senegal. I'm 17. I go to Northside High School. I'm interested in this visit because I came here to better myself. What makes me a strong candidate for coming here and to accomplish my goals? Stuff.
You got it, you got it.
I need a personal trainer, so you could be my. To impact my community is to, I want to be, what I was thinking about being after I graduated high school is a public speaker. To like put people, because I live in the north side of Lafayette, and a lot of people be dropping out of high school and stuff. I want people to get back on track, do the right things. You're welcome.
Yes, great job.
Thank you so much. It takes courage to get up here, and that is very necessary. Thank you for seeing the need and for wanting to be a solution to that problem, young lady. Thank you very much. So, awesome job. Who is next? Okay, so then we have this gentleman right here, and then we'll get to you right here, and then we'll move to the other side of the table. Yes.
Hi, my name is Jaden Joseph. I'm 14 years old. I'm a freshman at Lafayette High School. The two people that really inspired me most to come up here and do this was Aliko and Mr. Alex Lazard, because Alex, like, totally forgot his name. Like Kendall said over there, you wanted money, and that's exactly what I want, to be honest. Everybody wants money, but I wanted to better myself, to come closer with Christ and build a better connection with Christ. And I want to have a different outlook on careers and jobs that I could do later. Because right now I'm thinking about being an engineer, but I also want to be a stock investor once I get the money to do that. And I want to come back to this community to better it, because we don't have the best stuff around here. We could do a lot better with stuff that we have. And Aliko, you said that you have a strict regimen to get through college. See, I'm just a freshman in high school, so I don't know much about what I'm going to do after that. But when I get into college, I want to have not as strict as you because I don't know about that, but I want to have some type of structure to what I'm doing. And you gotta have structure to get through whatever you're gonna do. Strong candidate, to make me a strong candidate, I'm already deeply involved in my community, or I would think so. I do a lot of service organizations such as Boy Scouts of America. I would just like to be able to find stronger ways to serve and help my community make it better, do stuff that we can do to build us up, make it stronger. And to impact the community, I just said that, to just make it stronger, make us a better community overall, and that's pretty much it. Thanks.
Jaden, wonderful answer. So I have got to say about this generation, they are very honest. Thank you all for your honest feedback. And one thing about this generation in this room is that not only are they honest, but they're very respectful. So thank you all for that as well. Now, I think that the young lady, come on up. Y'all look so beautiful.
My name's Anijah. I'm 14. I'm a freshman at Como. Whenever I go to college, I want to specialize in veterinary school, and I also want to own a dance studio one day. I ventured more towards Alico, and I'm interested in the site visit because I feel like having guidance throughout high school should be able to help me clear my path for college and all of the doctorates that I want to have. I'm very dedicated, and I take my schoolwork very seriously. I have parents that breathe down my back all the time, but I feel like it'll help me eventually, and it'll all pay off in the end. To impact my community, I do a lot of volunteer work, so I want to be able to continue to do that. I want to own a veterinary clinic, and I also want to own a dance studio.
Thank you so much. So, Mama back there, you have to start saving your pennies because she wants a trip to Rhode Island, okay? Get that on your schedule, Alico. I know you got a busy schedule. And also, Dr. Cormier might be a good point of reference for her as well if she wants to work in that field. So who is the next person? Okay, come on up.
My name is Quincy Asbury. I'm 15 years old, and I'm a freshman at Lafayette High School. I'm interested in a site visit with Dr. James Cormier because I am in the Health Academy at LHS, and I am in the Health Academy at LHS, and I'm looking to become an ultrasound technician or orthopedic surgeon. I would be a strong candidate because I'm very interested in the medical field, and I can impact my community what I learned by telling my friends and family about how great the medical field is.
Thank you, Quincy. Good, good, good stuff. You got this, girl. Woo-sa.
Hi, my name is Khalees Cook. I'm 15 years old. I'm interested in a site visit with Dr. Cormier because when I grow up or when I graduate, I would like to become a pediatric oncologist or a general surgeon or something within that medical field. I'm a very determined person. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Sometimes when I'm bored, I just watch like surgery videos just for fun because I'm really interested in that. I would like to give back to my community by using the knowledge that I learned from, using the knowledge that I've learned from all the things that, I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. You got it. Using the knowledge that I've learned from the things that I've seen, because I love to learn things. I like to be in the loop of things, and yeah, just.
Thank you. So I love what she said. She wants to learn from the things. She wants to get knowledge from the things that she's learned. She wants to go to these different places, and she wants to learn from these different places and get knowledge from those different places and carry that knowledge out. Thank you so much. So there is a 5-second rule that Miss Mel Robbins talks about. She's a motivational speaker, just like you talked about being. And here's how the 5-second rule works. When you don't want to do something that you know you have to do, you count to 5. And you do it like you're going to take off. And you do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. And as corny as it might sound, when you hit that number 1, if you make yourself get up and do whatever it is that you got to do, you get it done. Miss Mel Robbins said, I used to hit the snooze button every single morning. I would put off my workouts. I would put off my prayer. I would put off all these different things that I needed to do. But she said, I was going to bed one night, and I saw this jet being taken off. And she said, I heard the countdown. And this idea came in her mind that if she did the countdown when she got to 1, no matter how she felt, she would get up. I'm going to challenge you all to do that 5-second countdown as well. Anything that you don't feel like doing that you know you got to do, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off, baby. Get it done. Get it done. Okay, who is the next person? So state your name, your age, and answer the 3 questions. Thank you, Tim. Yes.
Hello, my name is Timothy Robertson, and I'm interested in a site visit with Dr. Cormier because I aspire to be in the medical field, medical engineer. I haven't decided yet, but I know I always did have a passion for medical. It always was something I wanted to do. I feel like, well, I know about you, so I know me. I could see me getting along with you as a person, and you're somebody I would enjoy to be around. And Miss Jordan, I could see myself in a mentor program with you because I'm into fitness, and I like it's something I'm big into that I want to venture into. And I think what makes me a strong candidate is because I love to learn. I always it's a lot to life, and I want to, life is so long, and I want to get into everything I can so I don't have no regrets when I go. And to help my community, I don't know. I'd give back, I guess.
Thank you very much. So, yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Lauren Broussard, and I'm currently a sophomore at Obey-Como High School. And I think I absolutely love what Aliko said because she just has a determination to do anything that she puts her mind to. And I'm very interested because I personally know Aliko, and we've known each other for a long time. And I think it's good to have a mentor the same age as you because you kind of have the same viewpoint on things. So that's a good reason to have a good mentor like you. And I think I'm a strong candidate because I have loved fashion for a long time, and I kind of set that as a goal for myself at a very young age, and I know that Aliko loves that too. So, I love to process things that people say. So I think that I would be a wonderful candidate because it's always good to have somebody close to the same age as you going through high school to lead you to that point where they're at now. And to help impact our community, we've both grown up in this community and we've seen things that people have done, and I think that we would both come up with great things to do for our community and just getting more kids involved in things.
That was good. So look, y'all, we don't ever realize that people watch us and people learn from us. And what we do either encourages people or it discourages people. Thank you for being a good role model, Aliko. Thank you for being such an encouraging young lady. Keep in mind that people watch what you do. What you do is important, and what you say is important as well. So, think this young lady, yes, ma'am. You're gonna do great. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
My name is Amari Robinson, and I'm 17, and I'm a senior at Brobridge High School. And I'm interested in possibly having a mentor relationship with Aliko or Dr. Cormier, because I'm gonna graduate and I'm already nervous about that. So I feel like Aliko would be good to go to for advice, and Dr. Cormier, because I feel like, well, I finally decided on the career that I want, and I've been wanting that since 10th grade, and I want to be an OBGYN, and it would be good to have some advice for like medical school and college and stuff, and I feel that I'm a strong candidate because I know that this is what I want, and I'm very determined to get it, no matter what it takes. And I could help impact the community by showing others that it is possible in my community, and that all it takes is hard work and determination.
So, okay, so Aliko is in Rhode Island. Maybe Aliko, the next time you come down, y'all could have like a girls' date and have some conversation and discussion about these things. So we have time for, of course, if the moms are okay with that, we have time for one more pitch. We have time for one more pitch. Come on. Come on. Anybody want to do the? Okay, so do we have time for it? We have time for a pitch, and then we have to move on. Yeah. Okay. So what we would like to have happen at this moment, first of all, let's give the youth in here a round of applause. Y'all did a wonderful job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It takes courage to do this. Thank you. So now we will ask the panelists to go and deliberate. 3 winners will be announced. They'll get about 5 minutes to go and look at their scorecards, and we'll come out and announce the 3 winners. Okay, and also while you wait, you have an opportunity to, there's a bathroom break. You can visit the resource table. There's also a whole lot of food left. I've been told to please go back up and get some more food, and we will join back again at your seat in about the next 5 or so minutes. Thank you. So I'm gonna ask that everybody take their seats so that we can get started and announce the winners, and I have some awesome news. We'll get started in about 30 seconds, and I'll announce a little special gift, an extra gift. All right, so it looks like everybody has taken their seats. Well, initially we said that we would have 3 winners, but because of the fact that even the lovely Miss Aliko has been requested to give a mentorship or a site visit, we have also agreed to allow Aliko to be a mentor as well, which she already currently is, but we are going to allow you to work with her as well. So we have 4 winners. We will each, I believe, panelist will choose a mentor now. So again, thank you all for your courage and for your confidence and for your willingness to stand up. That takes so much courage and boldness to do it. Thank you for being willing to do that, and your efforts have been or will be rewarded. So our winners are, okay, so far, and I have some gifts for the winners as well. So Miss Jamie Jordan's mentor will be, this young man is just so confident and so eloquently spoken, Mr. Shamar Adams. Congratulations. So don't leave when this is done, Shamar, because I'm sure that you and Jamie will have to do whatever it is that you do. All right. So Mr. Alex Lazard's winner is, all right now, I'm sorry. Okay, Mr. Alex Lazard's winner is Jaden. Ooh, look his face. Congratulations. Don't leave when this is over, okay? Thank you so much, congratulations. Miss Aliko's mentor is Miss Amari. Miss Amari. Thank you so much, Miss Amari. Y'all all did a wonderful job. The awesome thing about Aliko is that she's a part of our church. So we kind of all have a piece of Miss Aliko. All right, and Dr. Cormier's winner is Anijah. Where is she? I don't see her. Oh. Congratulations to everyone who participated in the pitch competition, and a special congratulations to the winners. So, yes. Oh, what I also would like to ask after you speak is, one thing that I would like for you, if you have a second, is if there is anything that you liked that you would like to share about the panelists that came up, anything that they did that stood out to you, and if you have any other feedback, because feedback is a gift in areas where we can grow in, you can feel free to share that as well.
Wanted to share one thing. So there was and they don't know this, so we're calling an audible right now. There was an actual fifth person that we actually all want to meet with before he goes back to school, and that's Mr. Kendall. Thank you so much. You did such a great job. You're doing an awesome job right now. And so we're going to meet with you individually before you go back to school, and there's some things we want to share with you. But for everyone, I want to thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for having the courage to step out and share what's on your heart. Know that where you're at is super important. The biggest thing I want to share is plan, plan, plan. Plan, plan, plan. Hope is not a plan. I hope it works. It's not a plan. Got to have a plan on paper. It starts with, where do I want to go? What am I doing? And can I articulate it? If you can't tell yourself, then you won't be able to tell other people. So start with that. Start working on that. We're here for you. Dr. Carme said something. Honestly, all of you guys are talented. It was super hard. If you need something, please find us. Come talk to us. We want to help you. And super congratulations to everybody that we'll be working with over this next year.
Yes, a lot of what he said. Just thanks for being courageous and open. And something really important is once you start to think outside of that box that I was talking about, and you become willing to step outside of your comfort zone, you're gonna start to see and realize that help is around you. It's abundant. It's right in your vicinity. All you have to do is reach out, and you'll find that you can get a lot more done with resources. And life, it doesn't always have this recipe. It's not like on a cake box. It won't tell you shake this person's hand, make business cards, and follow up with an email, go to this meeting, read this book. You won't always know what to do step by step. So by talking to people who have been there, you can learn a lot. And I wanted to say that a lot of you, all of you had good ideas. Just focus on carving that path and writing it down. That's why I pulled out my paper, because it literally came off of the page. If it's in your heart, write it down, get it done. I believe in you guys, and we're here for you.
Yeah, I'd like to say really, really proud of really all of you, just for one, showing up in this weather, two, walking up, and we were joking about this back there, and and all the talks that I give, and whether it's in front of NASCAR, the NFL, the FDA, and all that, I probably couldn't do this. Okay, so congratulations. You got very, very proud of that you guys stood, you know, and we talked about courage a lot today, and that's courageous to come stand in front of the so-called Shark Tank, I guess, in this neighborhood. And keep pushing, like Jamie said, just have your goals. And from my standpoint, whoever's interested in medicine, come and see me. I enjoy people that visit the operating room. If you want to see cool brain surgery, you want to see spine surgery, I do open awake craniotomies where I map the brain in the operating room while patients are talking, while we're operating on them. You'll see some really cool spinal surgery. I sit on I have 6 faculty positions across the country with different spinal companies, and you'll learn some cool stuff. You'll learn that I'm just a really average, humble human being that had small beginnings, but now I stand before you as part of the NFL, as part of NASCAR, as part of the FDA, and all those different things. And so when we talk about the impact on your community, I didn't get into neurosurgery to participate in neurosurgery. I got into it to change neurosurgery, okay? So I don't know if any of you guys have seen this movie, Concussion, with the NFL and all that, and Julian Bales and Dr. Malo, they wanted to change things. So Julian Bales and myself are medical advisors for a company that's designed a collar that's gonna prevent concussions. I don't know, many of you guys watch football. Luke Kegley's wearing it. We're bringing this to NASCAR. Jamie's now joined our team with MSG. She's going to be doing this thing called iPass, which is a technology that there's basically only 24 units throughout the world. We have one here in Lafayette, and it has the ability to pick up concussions within 90 to 120 seconds, definitively. And so we're bringing that to racing, and so we're working with the jockeys, we're working with the NHRA, we're working with NASCAR, NFL, et cetera. And so we are representing Lafayette, we're representing you. I want you guys to represent us, okay? And just take these stories, and again, proud of you, and just humbled to be here.
Thank you all. So we're going to go ahead and conclude today's events by welcoming Miss Erin Daniels.
Thank you. I'm going to try to be brief, but bear with me because I think it's necessary. First of all, thank you to both students and parents for coming here today. We really appreciate you coming out and not only showing up for yourself, but showing others that you're taking some accountability and some pride into what your future holds. So thank you for coming. I could not go without recognizing the Career Connections Committee. So I'd like to recognize each and every one of you because they put a lot of work into this organizing and planning. So I want to recognize the Career Connections Committee, Donna Senegal and her team for the food preparation, Jakiri Guillory, Angela Bernard, Iantha Woods, Mary Naview, forgive me if I'm forgetting people, our youth coordinator, Jaylene Joseph. If I'm leaving anybody out, please forgive me. I also want to recognize Shauna for leading this effort as our Mistress of Ceremony, so thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate you. Our panelists as well, a phenomenal job in sharing your personal journeys and experiences with us, and I think we've all taken a little bit away from it, something from it today, so thank you very much. A few other things that we have coming up, in addition to this Career Connections, we have a lot of youth events that are coming to the forefront that you may want to check out. February 2nd, we have our Youth Day that's going to be held at Rock and Bowl in downtown Lafayette. It's going to be on a Saturday, I believe. February 2nd is a Saturday at 11 o'clock, so come out and enjoy that. And then on February 11th, we also have the Alvin Ailey dance, Ailey 2 youth dancers coming out to do a demo and presentation as well as a lecture with some of their artistic directors. That's going to be held in the Multipurpose Center. That's February 11th, 6 o'clock. That's on a Monday, so if you can make it out, please come and join the community. In addition to that, I just thought of a couple of people I need to recognize in addition to our Career Connections Committee, our advisory team, as well as Brandon Rochon, who was instrumental in helping put this panel together. So I don't know where Brandon is, if he's here. And I also want to recognize Dr. Dolores and Mrs. Pat Cormier for allowing to have Dr. Jason Cormier here with us today. They're also in the audience. And then finally, Ms. Hilda Brennan, if you're here, if you're still here and in the audience, she's in the back. She supports Dr. Cormier and helps him get through his day. So thank you for that. And then finally, I really thought about a lot of the things of what the panelists said, and I took away a couple of things. But one thing really stood out to me is discovering the different dimensions of yourself. There are a lot of elements we have to ourselves. Sometimes we can be happy, we can be upset, we can be angry, we can be hurt. And recognizing failure throughout that. Success doesn't happen with a lot of failures that come along the way. So you're building through that success. So discover those different dimensions of yourself. We have Jamie, who's gone through, cycled through many different things in her life and has propelled to where she is today in building her own personal brand. Alex, who has come through corporate America and decided to journey into ministry with the support of his family and his community, and is excelling and building up that youth ministry to where it is today. Aliko, we are so proud of you coming from Amaka Heart, really and truly, and sharing your successes and your failures and being really open and transparent. We really appreciate that. And finally, Dr. Cormier, really, thank you. You know, you've really shown us what discovering those different dimensions of yourself can be. And finally, in doing that, I just want to share this final video so that you can see what it looks like to discover some of those different dimensions of yourself. After we finish this video, we have an evaluation. Please be open and honest and share your truth with us, because we want to make this the best we can for you. So thank you for coming today.